Hey gamers, Gecko here. Around a year ago, I made a video on this channel called Evo Japan is Cursed. In that video, I go over some of the things that have happened in previous Evo Japans and how the event has a air or a mist around it that causes it to just fail in the most hilarious ways. One year, the venue is so hot that people are literally sweating so much it is creating a mist in the air. Another time, it's still so hot that PlayStation 5s are literally exploding on the stage and they're having to be taken off and brought back on again. No matter what year it is or how many things they change, it seems that Evo Japan always has some controversy happen within the event. And after the first day of the event, I am glad to say that this has not changed. There is still things going wrong at Evo Japan. Now, thankfully, it hasn't hit Strive just yet. But if we want to talk about this drama, we're gonna have to talk about 2XKO. Don't click off the video, don't worry, it's not to do with the actual game. Kind of. More to do with the things that the game is actually currently running off of. If you don't know, 2XKO is one of the unlucky games to have its entire event run in a single day. Granted, it is kind of one of the smaller brackets, but with how condensed the actual schedule is, everything running in a single day means that there's going to be issues that are not able to be fixed right before finals. And this happened to several people. Actually, one player was screwed over by the ruling of SOCD in the tournament. Now, I haven't been keeping up too much with 2XKO, but in Evo specifically, they seem to have a direct ruling on what SOCD is allowed. If you don't know, SOCD stands for Simultaneous Opposing Cardinal Directions, or Simultaneous Opposite Cardinal Directions. It's one of the two. They both mean the same thing. This is basically when you are pressing two different directions at the same time. So if you have a controller that can press both left and right at the same time, you are doing SOCD. We've had to make specific rulings about what SOCDs are allowed for some fighting games, mostly older ones. For example, if you were to go into some versions of Street Fighter 2 and press back and forward at the same time, your character will walk forward, constantly charge their attacks, and always block everything. It's kind of broken. However, modern fighting games have built-in SOCD clearing so that you can get specific inputs. I'm not sure how it works for every game, but I'm pretty sure that Strive has true neutral clearing. This means if you press forward and back at the same time, you get nothing. Depending on the clearing that you have, can give you different advantages in different things. Some clearings have last input priority, some clearings have neutral, and I'm sure that there's some very funky ones that are out there. However, while games themselves are most of the time able to distinguish between SOCD, controllers themselves are able to force specific SOCDs. You can set up your controller to have last input first, meaning that instead of doing a true neutral input by sending both of the inputs to them, the controller is able to see what inputs you send and send just the one that you want. This leads to a couple of problems and therefore has to have specific rulings on it when it comes to events. In this specific case, it seems like this player had their controller set up so that when they pressed up and down, they got a specific input instead of sending either both or neither. In the Evo rulings, it specifically says that you are not able to have this. They need to either both be on or off. You can't have it cancel one of the other one out. However, the drama is seemingly that this has never been a rule for any 2XKO major or any 2XKO tournament before this. In fact, I've never seen this rule before in any event, to the point where I kind of just didn't know that this was a thing that people could do. After it was found that Globo was using up priority, it seems that he got disqualified from the entire event. So why is this drama? Well, most people don't really care. It's a bit of a weird thing to say, but SOCD is kind of a done concept. Hitboxes are so generalized at this point that getting enforcement on SOCD clearing can be kind of hard, and in this case, up priority is not even the worst thing that you could necessarily do on these controllers. I think it would be better if rules were more clear and enforced more, and also informed to players a lot more clearly. Yes, the rules are posted for every single bracket, but most players seemingly didn't know that there was a unique SOCD clearing rule in the rule set. And making it all the way to 9th place without knowing the rule of the tournament is pretty bad. I think a discussion about this definitely needs to be had by tournament organizers and players going forward. But even then, it's not over for 2XKO's troubles. No, because at the top 8, one of the players there, Supernoon, realized that the monitor that he was playing on was ridiculously laggy. From what I could tell, one of the 2 monitors being used in top 8 was way laggier than the other one. To the point where if you were playing on player 2 side, everything was completely fine, but if you were playing on player 1, you kinda got fucked. Now, laggy setups and terrible monitors and bugs, issues with hardware, is not something new to any of these events. See last year's video about the PS5s exploding. They explode, they're just overheated, but still, they exploded! However, the fact that it took 15 minutes for this to be resolved at one of the biggest majors in the world is terrifying. With Evo branching out and going literally all over the world, it is a very worrying sign that one of the biggest names in fighting games is still running an event that has so many controversies around it. And this is just day 1. I can guarantee you with the absolute marathon that is going to be tomorrow, there's going to be even more issues that plague this event. I don't know a lot of people that went to Evo Japan this year because of many reasons. But the people that I do know that went are lamenting that they're not even having that good of a time. If one of the biggest tournaments in the world at the birthplace of fighting games isn't up to the highest quality standard that it can be, I think that says a lot more about Evo than it says about anything else. Hopefully, they find a way to fix the rest of these issues for the rest of the event, and this year's Evo Japan goes down as a relatively good event with a couple of few hiccups. However, it seems that Evo Japan is still an event that is absolutely cursed, and is having a very hard time shaking off that fact. Also, put free games on Sunday again. I'm so annoyed that Strive is on fucking Saturday. It has 40 less entrants than Tekken, dude. Like, what the fuck? If you want to see the potential train crash that is Evo Japan Saturday, then you should come over to my stream tomorrow. I'm going to be starting the stream right as Strive starts, hopefully. I have to wake up at like 4 a.m. And then streaming all the way to Strive Finals so we can see any potential news and enjoy what could potentially be one of the worst top 8s in Strive history. If you want to know why, you should go check the previous video on this channel about Happy Chaos. If you want to see what comes next, make sure to subscribe down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!